And when you say that a person gets taken time and time again because the aliens want something, what is it do you think that they want?
It's not just one thing that the aliens want. They're looking for several different things, and different groups are running different kinds of programs. Um, the program that most interests me, because it has happened to the vast majority, um, involves entities, non-human entities, who are kind of a light gray to blue-gray color. They have large eyes, sometimes dark if they're wearing lens covers, or sometimes without the lens covers. They are telepathic. They have a very vestigial kind of nose, just a slit for a mouth, no external ears, uh, larger upper bodies, very thin limbs, and they appear to work in a couple of groups. There are the more intelligent, probably sentient beings, who are the scientists, the communicators, the physicians, etc., on the craft. And then there is a smaller group. The taller group is about 5 to 5.5 feet tall. The smaller group is about maybe 4 feet tall, maybe a little shorter, maybe a little taller. That smaller group could possibly be biorobotic. We're not positive about this. We only know that they stand against the wall and they only move when they're instructed to do so, unless they see someone attempting to abscond with something that belongs on that craft. And then they retrieve whatever it is that individual has. They're the assistants who dress and undress people and take them to the examining room. We know that something happens in that examining room. Everyone who has this kind of experience is placed on a table, and they receive what appears to be an implant. Dr. Roger Lear used to remove these implants, and they were studied in scientific laboratories. They have highly unusual properties. They are attached to the proprioceptor nerves in people's bodies. Our bodies don't reject them. They appear to have intelligence. They can travel from one part of the body to another where they are supposed to end up. Dr. Lear's researchers discovered that they are made from a crystalline structure of rare earths and meteoric material, and there was one that would transmit radio signals into deep space. So very highly unusual properties with the implants. We know that there is also a reproductive program going on, and there is a lot of speculation among us researchers about exactly what that is. There are many, many individuals who have reported either having ova removed or a sperm sample removed. There are individuals, many, who have reported observing fetuses in various stages of development in what appear to be cylindrical tanks on craft, in these artificial gestational tanks. Women report that they were inseminated artificially on board these craft. They go back, they believe that they are pregnant, and then suddenly they are not pregnant. There's been a great deal of effort to attempt to get scientific evidence that this is actually happening. We know that there are cases where women have been pregnant and suddenly they were not pregnant, and they did not have the symptoms of a miscarriage. So we are still not in possession of enough scientific evidence to be able to determine that this is happening, although certainly in individuals' reports, it has happened time and time again. The fetus is removed, then put into these tanks, and raised until they are old enough to survive outside these tanks. We also believe that they are tampering with our human DNA. Time and time again, experiencers have been told, and this dates back into the 1950s, that these non-human entities fear that our technological development is out of sync with our spiritual development, that they are concerned that we're going to cause an environmental collapse on this planet, or that we might engage in a nuclear holocaust. Very, very concerned about this too, and they are attempting to upgrade the human genome to move us ahead on an evolutionary scale so that we won't destroy ourselves. They take people generationally, time and time again, in order to test this, the progress they're making, and also to test the level of toxicity in the human body as a result of the environmental toxins that we have. These are, I've been told these time and time again by individuals and in the studies that we have done. So those are some of the things that we know they are doing. And some groups are more benevolent than other groups. Some have different agendas than other groups as well.
Okay, so you just answered one of my questions, and of course, I was going to ask, does it seem like they're trying to build a better us? But the other question is that experiencers have often reported that when they're on the ships, there appear to be different species of aliens collaborating together. Is this what it is, a collaboration among different species of aliens? And then on top of that, is there a human collaboration involved as well?
That's a very good question. I have received, my team and I have received thousands of reports, and individually I have received at least 2,000. And what we discover is that sometimes the Greys are working with a human type of being. Sometimes the human types appear to be working alone. Sometimes the human types are working with an insectoid type, and sometimes the Greys are working with an insectoid type, kind of a mantis type as well. So we know, and I have photographs actually of these entities taken by experiencers that lead me to believe that yes, indeed, this is occurring. There are other types that appear not to be working with the groups that I just spoke about, and those are the negative reptilian types. The question about whether humans, and you're probably referring to the military, are involved in this as well. In the reports that we received, about 20% believe that they have had these MyLab experiences where some section of the military was involved in what was occurring with them. When we asked, can you identify the military uniform? Some said Air Force, some said Navy, others really couldn't identify the uniform. It was the way they moved, their actions, that led them to believe that it was military involvement. Some researchers have hypothesized that these are actually human-appearing non-humans who are working on this project. There are other humans who have had this occur, such as Melinda Leslie, who are absolutely certain that this was the military.
Okay.
So